Greetings. My name is James Sanders, and I created this presentation as a model to illustrate some of the ways we are introducing new technologies for science and math education in the Black Belt counties of Alabama. This presentation was originally designed and presented to administrators and teachers at Wilcox Central High School. I have modified it to fit your listening purposes. Instead of listing 4 ways, just take 10 seconds to think of one way teachers can improve learning in their classrooms. Go ahead. About 5 seconds left. All right, just keep that in your head. Here are some basic observations we did at Wilcox Central High School in the science classes. I'm betting that one of the ways that you thought of how teachers could improve um, is in some way tied to one of these observations. All right, teachers compete for student attention, usually by way of either cell phones, MP3 players, student conversations. And student conversations these days don't just involve face-to-face interactions, but text messaging as well. There's also room for improvement in classroom management, minute by minute efficiency, as administrators will call them, or bell to bell instruction. They would say, students should be learning from the moment that bell rings to the moment the next bell rings. We also need ways to successfully integrate practical technology that enhances higher level thinking skills. Uh, Using technology should provide better access and motivation for students to learn. With technology, though, we never want to limit the amount of reading that can take place. If anything, we want to incorporate more reading if possible. We also want to provide more opportunities for student reflection and application. If the student can reflect on their own lives or open up a portal for them to apply content, then they will be engaged a little bit more than just preaching content. And last but not least, we also want to differentiate instruction. All of us in some way have a learning disability or learn in different styles. So we want to appeal to the visual learner. We also want to appeal to the auditory learner. Um, we also want to appeal to the kinesthetic learner that can manipulate and go back and forth and um, manipulate this presentation. But we also want to make accommodations and modifications for those with learning disabilities, and definitely for those students that are not in class when that lecture is given. What happens to them when you're doing a lab and you've lectured a day before and they just haven't gotten the information? With this type of technology, then they will be able to catch up rather quickly and efficiently. Our research is based on the TPAC framework by Kohler and Mishra. In a nutshell, technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge exist as separate entities, but successful integration of these entities in the classroom overlap and are related to student and teacher motivation and success in student learning outcomes. Basically, here's the diagram that kind of summarizes every aspect of um, their framework. And you see the pink square circle would be technological knowledge. Uh, then you have content knowledge, and you also have pedagogical knowledge. When you put all those together, you see how they overlap. What we're aiming for is the middle, where the dark green, where we would find technological, pedagogical, content knowledge, also known as TPAC. Our objectives are simple. I don't know why we got rid of teacher aides. Well, actually, money is the reason. But I believe teachers and students will benefit from having 2 adults in the classroom. At this time, you are hopefully paying attention to this presentation, but I'm not giving it live. I'm in the room, but I'm not giving direct instruction. Secondly, if there's structure in the classroom, it will promote better opportunities for students to learn. So we want to increase student motivation by increasing classroom structure. Technology really is our friend. Sometimes it doesn't seem that way with all the problems that can prevent us from using it effectively and efficiently, but digital video is reliable and efficient. We also want to promote good teaching strategies. Good teaching strategies can be incorporated into digital video, and it's perhaps the essence of good teaching. Like our warm-up in the beginning, we want students and teachers to be engaged. Providing opportunities for students to reflect upon their own thoughts help connect them to the content. We're going to use this diagram to help show how we're going to meet our objectives. In order to meet our objectives, it starts with the most up-to-date version of Office. It's amazing how many computers at Wilcox Central High School still had Office 2003 on them. Students will not be prepared to compete for jobs and careers using old versions of basic software. Yeah, I know Office 2010 is about to make its debut, and I'm excited about its modifications and touch application features. But in order to move forward, we had to make sure the computers at Wilcox Central had up-to-date versions of Office. Like this presentation, we're using basic PowerPoint to transform into video. We can do this by using Camtasia software by TechSmith. So we purchased copies for teacher and student use. We also needed hardware or computers in order to handle the workload that digital video creates. So we bought 4 capable computers for teachers to use in their library, and we updated some student CPUs in the computer lab. Now the hardest part is planning the professional development to put all of these tools and resources together. So we're working on that. It's happening in some form, but not to the level that we're happy and satisfied with. But we do need time to transform PowerPoints uh, to feasible digital video tutorials with a TPAC framework in mind. And what are we going to do with all these once we're done? Of course, we can export to a LCD monitor, or we can just watch it basically on a TV DVD combo if we burned it to a disc, which is feasible because most households have a television and a DVD player. Believe it or not, even in Wilcox Central High School, where it's one of the poorest in the state, iPods and MP3 players are abundant. Yeah, I know, I was shocked too. But if we can export lectures to their particular devices, then they would have better access to listening to the lecture over and over and over again, hopefully. We have gained forward momentum. We have motivated teachers, not just in science and mathematics, that are excited, but we have foreign languages like social study and not well, social studies is not a foreign language, but social studies and Spanish that are willing to learn how to create digital tutorials, doing a professional development workshop. Just scheduling that workshop where teachers can be available is a task in itself. We're also asking teachers to be willing to commit to creating at least 3 digital tutorials and implement them during classroom instruction and provide feedback and documentation.